Good afternoon, everybody. Christo from All Things Prepping. Yeah, every once in a blue moon, I'm left alone, unsupervised, and that can be very devastating for somebody's health. So what happened now is that last night Elma made plans to go to visit her parents in Carolina. I'll get to the place now. But in any case, she went to visit her parents, and that's leaving me alone to prepare supper. Now, the whole day I've been working on this plan of having a boerie braai. So now it is time to do a boerie braai. Yeah, for those who don't know, boerie braai is when you do hot dogs, but instead of using Viennas or Russians or something like that, you actually use boerewors. On my way from work, I just quickly stopped at the local shop, and I got some buns and some boerewors, and I'm ready to get this party started. So let's gather all the stuff and let's get going. Today has been the hottest day of the summer up until now, turning around about the 32 degrees in Vereniging. So it was a lekker hot day, and there's nothing better to start a braai on a hot day than a Kazel-free that I've been looking forward to taking this one for a while. So cheers, Kazel-free, here we go. Oh, tastes as good as it feels. Yeah, the fire seems to be doing well. I've just put the roaster on now to just burn it clean, and then it's time to get the sausages on there and start braaiing. First of all, I just have to get the charcoal all ready and sorted out, so this might take a while, maybe about 20 minutes or so, and then we will be ready to braai. Yeah, so tonight I'm using my toeknip roaster, or my pinching roaster. It's basically a roaster that has got two roasters that you just need to you open it up and you put the meat in between the two roasters. And then I've got this bracket that I'm using for this roaster, specifically designed for this roaster. The purpose of this is that you've got different levels. As you can see, you've got different heights over here on the sides to vary the height of the roaster, and then you've got your place where you can shift it. You can actually move it wherever you need to. So what's happening now is I'm just getting the coals ready, and as soon as the coals is ready, just going to spread it out to the same surface as the roaster, and once that is done, we can then put the meat in and start braaiing. Yeah, so I've got the wors now set in the pinching roaster, or the toeknip roaster. I just need to close it all up, and then just with this locking mechanism, just keep it right, and then we are ready to move to the fire with it. I'm going to start off on a high distance away from the fire, just to get this party started very slowly. Just using my fire rake to open up fire a bit. Yeah, this fire rake that I got here is the last time that I visited my father. He gave it to me. They're moving from one place to another, so he doesn't really have use for this at this stage, and he gifted me the little fire rake, so I'm very happy to have it. I've been looking for one for a long time. So I've got this fire rake, got some memories and some culture to it already. We're just going to add to that, so dankie pa, waardeer opreg, and we're going to use this thing loads of times more. Yeah, and just to make this evening more perfect, that is my view to my right. The sun has set, and it's only the beautiful colors that is left, and that is very nice. Not something that you would see in the cities, but here in the rural areas in Walkerville, it's quite common. What I like about boeries is that you saw me eat them with a more traditional type of tomato relish. So what I did a couple of weeks ago is I made some tomato sauce or tomato relish for different types of uses, and I just took one of them out of the fridge, popped it into a little black pot, and as you can see right on the fire there, I've got it going, and just warming it up to go with the wors, and then we're gonna have some boeries in the near future. Yeah, what's inside that tomato relish is tomatoes, onions, and then also a little bit of garlic and chilies. So it is going to be a little bit spicier. I'm not sure if Elma is going to eat it, but yeah, that's what it is, and I'm looking forward to having it on boerie. Yeah, just look at that very nice looking sauce. Yeah, I think it's almost ready as well, almost hot enough. I'm just going to keep it on the fire for a little while. Elma is probably about 20 minutes out, so I'm just going to stretch a little bit so that she can actually join me and we can enjoy supper together. Yeah, the sauce is definitely ready and hot enough, so I've just taken it off and put it to the side. The wors I'm going to give one more turn, then I'm going to start taking it off and putting it into the casserole just to keep it warm, and then we will be ready to serve supper. Yeah, so we're ready for the final step. Just gonna take this, open up this, put it over there, and then just get the wors into the casserole just to keep it warm. And like I said, we are now good to go and ready to eat. So we're just waiting for the guests to arrive, and then we are ready to have lunch, supper on this beautiful Tuesday evening. Yeah, so that's it. Everything just on the fire to keep it warm. We've come to the end of this video. As you can hear from the excitement of Melisha going a little bit nuts, Elma has just arrived home as well. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching the video as much as I enjoyed making it and preparing the food. So until the next time, keep on prepping, keep on practicing your fire skills and your skills of preparing food outdoors. Until the next one, enjoy. Keep on prepping.